The path holds as much treasure as the prize waiting at the end. How might we better embrace the adventure and trust the journey? What's up, my EFF? Let me tell you how it is. You've just stumbled upon Jots, a series about the nature of love, compassion, joy, and the real-life connection between human beings. I'm Ender Bowen, Nashville, Tennessee rock pop artist, author, husband, father, complete dork, and aspiring compassionist. Sit back, relax, and be prepared to laugh, cry, maybe even leave the comfort of your shire for an incredible adventure. Probably not. It's easy to get swept away by the vision of making it. I mean, isn't that the point? We hustle, we burn the midnight oil, we dream with our eyes wide open, chasing after that ideal future. Our name in lights, even if it's sometimes spelled incorrectly, our brand recognized, our lives finally reflecting what we see in our most ambitious moments. And there's no denying it, that prize, that finish line, yeah, it's powerful. It keeps us awake at night and gets us out of bed in the morning. It pulls us through moments of doubt and exhaustion. Yeah, I get it. In fact, I'm living it every day. I'm constantly working and wrestling with all the parts and pieces that keep my projects moving, my brands growing, and my reach expanding. And why? Well, because at the end of all this, I want to be more than just someone who tried. I want to be someone who made it. I want to be in a place where I can look around and say, yes, yes, this is what I dreamed of, and it's finally mine. And look, it's not just for me. It's so I can help others more effectively, empower them with the lessons I've learned, and lift others into their moments of fulfillment. The better positioned I am, the more I can be that source of hope and change for someone else. It's also a way of proving to my children that yes, it can be done. But here's the thing. While all this ambition, drive, and vision for the future can fuel great strides, it can also paradoxically blind us. There's a danger that we rarely talk about, and it has everything to do with how we understand success itself. Hey. Before we get a little too deep here and things get a little too crazy, if you like this shirt I'm wearing, you can find this one and others like it at godjotstore.com. Now, the problem, as I've come to realize, is that while we're laser focused on the prize, we sometimes forget about the path. The path, the journey, the day-to-day choices, the quiet moments of learning, failing, growing, and trying again. That's where life actually happens. But we don't always see it that way, do we? We see the path as a means to an end, as something to endure, to sprint through as fast as we can, so that we can finally cross that finish line. But what if, in our rush to reach the prize, we lose sight of the path altogether? What if we're so focused on that shining moment of arrival that we stumble, stray, or get lost? We tell ourselves, oh, it's okay to sacrifice now because later it'll be worth it. And while there is merit in perseverance and strategic sacrifices, there's a subtle, dangerous line between pursuing a dream and ignoring the life that's unfolding in the pursuit. Life is not just the prize, it's the path itself. It's the late nights where creativity sparks, the setbacks that teach resilience, the collaborations that build camaraderie. It's the quiet prayers whispered when no one's watching, the joys of small victories, the strength discovered in moments of solitude and struggle. The harsh truth is, if you're so focused on what's at the end of the road, you might not be living in the present. You may find that, in your haste to reach that final moment, you've inadvertently wandered off the path altogether. And what's the point of chasing a prize if you're no longer on the path that was meant for you? Here's where it gets interesting. Maybe. I often say, somewhat jokingly, that by the time I finally find my audience, I'll have a massive, rich story to share. But that's not just a quip, it's the truth. That story, the journey, the twists, the moments of doubt, the revelations, is what will make my platform authentic and relatable. It's what gives depth to my work and meaning to any eventual success. Imagine if I'd achieved immediate success without the grind, without the stories that came from pushing past rejection, or without the growth that emerged with each setback. What would I have to offer then? Just the end result, stripped of its value and void of the real human experience that connects people. Think about Frodo in The Lord of the Rings. Sure, he ultimately tossed that ring into Mount Doom, but the power of the story is not. Think about Frodo in The Lord of the Rings. Sure, he ultimately tossed that ring into Mount Doom, but the power of the story is not in that final act alone. It's in the perilous, grueling journey to get there. Or in watching all three movies together. It's in the friendships forged, the trust tested, the sacrifices made, and the strength he didn't know he possessed. The real prize was who he became along the way, what he learned, how he changed. The victory without the journey would have been hollow. Maybe, just maybe, the path is the prize. Maybe what we're chasing isn't just the end result, but everything we become and experience in the process. Maybe when we shift our view to understand that the stories we're building now are just as important as where we're headed, we can appreciate the journey in a way that keeps us grounded. I am so excited to tell you about my first God Jots book, Forgiveness and Healing, How to Seek, Offer, and Understand the Power of Forgiveness. It has all kinds of lessons on how to ask for forgiveness, how to offer forgiveness, and real stories from real people who've experienced it. Not only that, it talks about why it's important. It helps you understand and how to empower yourself to forgive. I'm telling you, if you don't want to live in a divisive world and you want to start using a little bit more compassion, you've got to start with forgiveness. So get God Jots, Forgiveness and Healing, How to Seek, Offer, and Understand the Power of Forgiveness. Available now and also signed. Go to forgivenessbook.godjots.com. So, what happens if we acknowledge that the path is, in fact, the prize? Well, for starters, we're less likely to get sidetracked by impatience or blinded by an all consuming ambition that drags us off course. When we understand that the real value is in the process, the relationships, the challenges, the moments of grace and grit, we stay centered. We become more intentional with each step, aware of the lessons God is weaving into our daily grind. Suddenly, we're not just sprinting toward a distant something, but walking purposefully on the path that was laid out for us. We find meaning in the detours and strength in the uphill climbs. We learn that it's in the journey itself where God's greatest gifts often lie: the wisdom to discern right from wrong, the courage to face ourselves, and the heart to be present. When you embrace the idea that the path is the prize, your perception of success changes. You find peace in knowing that every twist and turn is part of a greater story, a divine narrative that is being written in real time. You start to realize that, yes, it's good to keep your eyes on the horizon, but it's even more important to keep them on where you're stepping now, where God is calling you to move today. If I'm focused on getting to the garden in my backyard, I won't see that mound of dog poo I'm about to step in until it's too late. So go ahead, dream big, chase after those goals, push forward with everything you have. But remember, the path itself holds as much treasure as the prize waiting at the end. Keep your eyes on it. Walk it well. Embrace the adventure and trust that the journey is shaping you in ways that are just as meaningful as any destination ever could be. Because the truth is, the path is the prize, and that changes everything. All right, now it's your turn. Have you ever found yourself so focused on the prize that you've ended up stepping off the path? Or, at the very least, have you found yourself not properly appreciating the journey? Were you able to readjust, or did you make any changes at all? If you're struggling with your goals and aspirations right now, what would happen if you looked back through your journey? Can you see where you might have stepped off the path? If so, what might you be able to do to get back on it again? I would love for you to share your thoughts about this episode with my growing community of aspiring compationists. Find out how to join us on Discord by going to enderbowen.com/Discord. If you like this episode and want to be notified when new ones are uploaded, make sure you don't leave without hitting that subscribe button, or subscribe to God Jots on your favorite podcast streaming service. You can also check out more God Jots, as well as subscribe to the mail list for ebooks, updates, and exclusive content at godjots.com. Until next time, be honest with yourself, be truthful with others, give people the opportunity to surprise you, and remember that it's impossible to have absolutely nothing in common with another human being. Be a little light in the world. I'm sure I'll see you soon.